All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, good afternoon. My name is Robert Rodriguez. I'll be your instructor today. We also have Connie Nieto, another Miami trainer, and she is joining us via the chat. If anyone has any questions to what we're going to be covering today or any other question, you can ask Connie and she will gladly respond to you. We are recording our session. However, you already can have access to the Show Me the Money course, which is a prospecting course inside of our YouTube channel. Those of you that have not visited our YouTube channel, it is Miami Trainers. We are approaching quickly 5,000 subscribers, so very excited about that. And we have over 500 different videos in both English and in Spanish that are there to assist you and to help you learn from our products and services. You can always look for the videos via playlist and look for Show Me the Money. We have it both in English and in Spanish, as well as other matrix trainings, RPR trainings, and, Form Simplicity and all the other programs we offer. Another way that you can watch our videos will be inside of the Miami Gateway. So when you log into MiamiRealtors.com and you select the Miami Gateway, you're going to find Miami Realtors Live. Once you're inside of Miami Realtors Live, it is a full library of videos that are previously recorded. So if you missed the webinar, you can always go to Miami Realtors Live and rewatch it at any time, out of the day. Okay, so you have Miami Realtors Live, and you also have our YouTube channel, Miami Trainers. If you look on inside the chat, I believe Connie has already placed some of our links, such as our YouTube channel, Miami Realtors Live, our Facebook and Instagram, pages, as well as our email address. Our email address is trainers@miamire.com, trainers@miamire.com for any of your questions with your Miami tools and services. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's log into iMapp because we are going to be using iMapp for today's course. iMapp is a public record system that you're going to find inside of your dashboard by selecting iMapp. Or inside of Matrix, you can also select iMapp right here. I do want to mention this is not an iMapp class. We do have separate classes that teach you how to use this public record system. Today's class is Let's Use iMapp for Prospecting, okay? So if you do want to learn iMapp, we do invite you to register to one of our live webinars that we have several times each month. Or you can go to our YouTube channel and you can watch our previously recorded iMapp sessions. Here we are inside of iMapp, and the first thing we're going to do is go through some of the basic functions of iMapp so we know how to use them before we actually start prospecting. The first thing I want to show you is on the right-hand side, you do have all 67 counties in Florida available to you. So with iMapp, you can actually research in any county in Florida for any property type. To the left, you're going to see that we are currently looking at tax search. So this is the public record system. You also have Mls Search, which we're going to tap in a little later. And then, of course, Foreclosure Search allows you to search for possible foreclosure opportunities or short sale opportunities for listings. To the left, you do have the search field column. And these are all interchangeable. What that means is that if you don't want to search by owner name, you can open this up and you can select something else that you would like to search by, like owner occupied, okay? Then of course on the right, you're gonna have the search value, which is your response to the search field. So the first thing I want to do is I wanna go ahead and cover if you are prospecting in a condo building. Let's say you want to prospect inside of 50 Biscayne Boulevard. That's a building in downtown Miami. And all you're going to do is you're going to type in 50 Biscayne here in the address. Okay. It would help if I spell it right. All right. 50 Biscayne. And then you're going to select Start Search. That's going to give you the total number of units at 50 Biscayne, which is 540 units. So we have 540 units at the moment. There is no way to filter the MLS active listings at the moment. However, iMapp is working on improving their platform, and that's one of the things that we look forward to them adding, which is a filter where it removes the active listings. But however, you can sort your results by selecting results not sorted at the top, and then you can sort by MLS status ascending. By selecting sort by MLS status ascending, you're going to shoot to the very top of the list all the active listings. Those green labels that you see there, those are active listings inside of 50 Biscayne. They're active either for sale or for rent. And then if you see any yellow labels, then those are under contract or pending listings. So you want to remove all of your active and pending listings simply because you're not supposed to send mail to people who are already working with the realtor, okay? So what I'm going to do is currently I'm showing 100 results per page. So I can switch this to 50 results per page and then basically uncheck all 50 in this first page because I went down and I saw that there were more than 50 results. So by unchecking them and then hitting commit changes, I have now told iMapp to not show me those 50 results. Then we're going to move on to the next page right up here on the left, and then we're going to uncheck number 51 and then number 52. And then we're going to also click on commit changes. So I have removed a total of 52 results from the 540. Now, if you don't want to see all of them at all, you're going to go and click on show all results and then switch that to show only selected results. So now you notice up here where it says we are showing 1 out of 488 results. The total number is 540. So we effectively removed 52 results from our page. So the idea is we want to prospect this building and we want to find out information. On the right-hand side, you do have download results, and then you also have create mailing labels. So let's begin with the labels. Let's click on create mail labels, and then you do have here owner address, and then you have owner at property address. Here's the difference. Owner address is going to have the address of wherever the owner may live. Either they live there at 50 Biscayne Boulevard or at another address in another city, in another state, in another country. Owner at property address, the label will be addressed to that particular property, whether the owner lives there or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a sample of owner address. We're going to drop down and we're going to select Avery 5160, which is the most common label used and that you can buy at the store, and then drop all the way down and then click on generate labels in a PDF format. So let's click on generate labels in a PDF format. Then my labels should be popping up shortly. Let me go ahead and share that screen with you. All right, I believe that you guys can see my labels now. And you'll see that we have several addresses in Puerto Rico. We have addresses in Massachusetts and New Jersey and throughout, the different addresses where the owners may live, okay? That is when we're trying to reach the owner of the unit inside of 50 Biscayne Boulevard, okay? Now let me go ahead and go back to iMapp and let's go back one screen and let's click on owner at property address. When you click on owner at property address, you are going to get a warning that says the following issues were identified with your selection. It says this label type may result in a high rate of return mail. The reason being is that if the owner does not live at the particular unit, the mail may get returned. So for this option, you must replace the first line with first line or current resident, which is going to have the name of the owner or current resident, or simply altogether replace the first line with current resident, okay? So you can have here current resident, and then go down, select generate labels in a PDF format, and then once again, you're going to see now your labels. Now the owner name is gone and current resident is there. So The idea behind going after the property address is anyone that may live in this building will receive this mail, whether it's a renter or the homeowner, they're going to receive this mail, okay? So let's close this out and let's go back. And now what I like to do is show you how to create a spreadsheet. So on the right-hand side above labels, you have download results. So we're gonna select download results, and you have the opportunity to download the full tax record if you like, or simply download the owner address or the property address or the phone number report. Let's try the phone number report. However, this is a building, so many people do not have landlines in a building, and you're not going to see phone numbers. But let's give it a try and see what we find. All right, let's click on download. It is going to open up an Excel sheet. All right, so you must have some type of spreadsheet format there in your computer that allows you to open up a spreadsheet. Notice the last column, all right, for telephone number, there are very little phone numbers in this building, all right? Out of the 480 that I downloaded, there are very little numbers. Those represent landlines in this building. So the phone number report is a great report if you're doing a residential community of single family homes where there are plenty of phone numbers that are going to be given inside of the report. I will go over that, and I will show you how to prospect a community of single family homes, okay? So let's close out the spreadsheet. Okay, let's close out the spreadsheet and let's get back to the iMapp, and that is how you download results and how you create labels. So I mentioned that this was going to be some of the basics, that you want to learn inside of iMapp for prospecting. So now let's actually get into the filtering of the results so we can prospect for, sellers. So let's click on refine this search, and that's going to get us back to the home page, all right, where we are still looking at 50 Biscayne. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to filter owner occupied properties. So you're going to open up any of the fields that you're not using, and you want to select owner occupancy, all right? So owner occupied, and then once you select owner occupied, you want to answer yes, all right? On the right-hand side, you want to answer yes, and then click on Start Search. Out of 540, 285 owners have homestead exemption in their property. So that means that half of the building is owned and lived by the owner, and the other half of the building is owned and probably rented out, okay? If you go back and you click on Refine This Search, and you switch the yes answer to no, now you're asking iMapp to show you the properties that do not have homestead exemption. So you have 255 owners that do not live in this building. They have an address outside of 50 Biscayne Boulevard, okay? Whether they live in Miami or in another country, they're considered absentee owners. So here you can go and create labels and reach out to the owners wherever they live, or you can create labels and reach out to the property residents. So whoever lives at the property, maybe it's a renter, and perhaps you are able to convince them that now's a good time to buy, especially with mortgage rates being so low. It is a great time to buy, and you want to convince them that this is a good time to buy. You want to go and create labels, and you want to get in touch with the residents of these rented units, okay? So let's go back and click on Refine This Search. Now from here, another thing that we can do, we're going to open up the owner occupied, and then you're going to say owner is country, or so owner is county resident, owner is Florida resident, owner is US resident. Let's see how many owners reside outside of the state of Florida. So we're going to go and select owner is Florida resident, and then we're going to say no. We're going to click on Start Search, and there are 74 owners in this building who do not even live in Florida. So absolutely, these people are renting their units out, because why would they have it vacant, right? So you have 74 owners who live outside of Florida. We're going to click on Refine Search, and then you can switch that to owner is U.S. resident and see how many people actually live outside of the U.S. Click on Start Search, and what we have is 8 results. So we have 8 owners who live outside of the United States, okay? Let's click on Refine This Search. Folks, we're teaching you techniques on how to use iMapp for prospecting. We're not going to teach you about campaigning. This is something that if you figure you have 255 absentee owners, which way you're going to approach them, that's something you learn in a different class. It's not going to be today, okay? Now, what else can we find out from this building? We're going to open up our search criteria here. And this is another very interesting one. Taxes are delinquent. If you want to go after owners who owe property taxes, we select taxes are delinquent, and then we select yes for an answer, and we click on Start Search. There are 12 property owners who have not paid their property taxes. We're going to click on the first one, and then inside of the property details, you will see in red a notification that says this property has been reported as delinquent and paying property taxes for the year 2019. We're going to click on the link to the county tax collector. It is going to open up the website for the county tax collector and show you the balance owed on this property. So you'll see that they did not pay 2019, which is a balance of $8,190. And to this date, they have not paid the 2020 bill either, which is $6,716. That's a total of $14,907 of property taxes owed for this particular property. Why am I showing you this? Well, this is another way of prospecting. You know that you have an owner here who's 2 years behind in property taxes. When you go more than 2 years, the county has a decision. They can sell your tax deed and your tax certificate. They can sell it in an auction to an investor who then now, will own the rights to that property, and they won't own the property yet. They'll own the rights to the property, and they will get paid the balance of the tax plus interest. Now, if the homeowner fails to pay that investor, okay? If the homeowner fails to pay that investor within a certain amount of time, now the investor who owns the tax certificate can actually foreclose on the property. All right, so that threat is real. If you go to miamidade.realforeclose.com, inside of miamidade.realforeclose.com, which is the clerk of court for Miami-Dade County and the foreclosure auctions, you will see that on Thursdays, it's mostly tax certificate auctions. Okay, so the threat is there, the threat is real, and this homeowner that you see here, okay, this homeowner that you see here is, getting really close to having their property, put up for auction because of the balance due on the property taxes. So you want to speak to the homeowner and you want to see where they're at. You want to see if they're interested in selling their property, because of course that is a way to, get away from the balance owed is by selling the property, okay? So that is how you search for taxes are delinquent, not just in a particular building, but in any neighborhood, which I will show you how to search for neighborhoods, okay? Let's go back and click on Refine This Search, okay? And that is taxes are delinquent. You can also open this up and you can say, show me any REO or bank-owned properties. So at 50 Biscayne, we're gonna select yes. And let's see if there are any REO properties in this building. There's 2, okay? There are 2 properties that are owned by banks, and those are REO. Now, why am I showing you this? Perhaps you're a listing agent that targets REOs, and neither of these 2 properties are actually listed. So you can go and talk to the bank or institution that owns the property and see if they are ready to list that property, and you can become the listing agent. I do recommend that you talk to your broker about this, see if that is something that they're willing to do, because it does take time and money to list REO properties, okay? Let's go ahead and click on New Search. Let's click on New Search, and then let's go and prospect a neighborhood. Now, if you know the name of the subdivision, you can always go to Subdivision Select, and then go to the letter that begins, you know, the subdivision begins with which letter. Go to that letter and look for the subdivision. Or if you actually know the name and you want to spell it out, you're going to go and switch the Subdivision Select to Input. And then you're going to go here and you're going to put in the subdivision. So for example, if I want to do Doral Estates, I'm going to go Doral Estates right here. So you have Doral Estates, and then we're going to select Doral Estates, and it says starts with, or you're going to go equal to or contains. We're going to say contains. And then if you only want single family homes, the very last search field is property use. You're going to open, and then you're going to select single family home, and then you're going to select start search. So inside of Doral Estates, there are 146 single family homes to that subdivision. Now, I do want to tell you that if you did not know the name of the subdivision, that's fine, as long as you know the address of one property. So let's make believe that I live in this property, or I am listing this property and I want to prospect the neighborhood. All you need to do is copy the subdivision that you see here, development name or subdivision name. All right, you can copy it and now go back to the search and then paste that in the subdivision input, and now you have your subdivision. So let me show you. Let's click on New Search. I'm just going to put in the address of a property in Coral Gables. Okay. So 1020 Obispo Avenue, we're going to click on Start Search. So in this case, this is a subdivision that actually doesn't really have a name per se. It just says Coral Gables Section C, right? So that is the exact subdivision. You're going to copy. You're going to go back to New Search. Okay. And then you're going to go here to where it says Subdivision Select. You're going to switch this to Input. And then we're going to go and paste Coral Gables Section C. You're going to select it, click on Start Search. And in this subdivision, there's 179 homes. If you want to see the homes on the map, you click on the right-hand side, View on Map. And these are the first 50 homes, okay? Let me go ahead and switch this back to show 100 per page. All right, 100 per page. So these are the first 100 homes in the subdivision. And then you can go and say, show me the next 79 homes. And then these are the next 79 homes. So basically the subdivision is this entire map area you would see right here, okay? With 179 homes. That's Coral Gables Section C, okay? So that is one way that you can figure out the neighborhood that you like. And that would be by going to subdivision and writing in the name. Another way, of course, is going to be by drawing in a map. So you can always open up the map here, complete map area, or go straight to Coral Gables, and then draw yourself an area that you'd like to concentrate in. So here I am in the Coral Gables area. We're going to go ahead and zoom in, okay? And let's say, for instance, that I like to prospect this area right here. You're going to go to the drawing tools on the upper left corner of the map. You can go with a polygon, a rectangular shape, or a radius. Let's go with a polygon. And then basically, let's draw here. All right. And then let's finish where we started. Let's click on Confirm Selection on the right-hand side. And now you want to tell the system you're looking for single family homes. So let's select single family homes and let's click on Start Search. In there are 112 single family homes, all right? If I go back to refine the search and I tell the system how many condos do we have in there, you can always go here and select condominium. You want to remove single family home, then click on Start Search. And then how many condos do we have in there? We have 113 condos, okay? So we're going to go back to refine search, and let's go ahead and remove the condo, all right? And let's just see how many properties in total we have in there. We have 376 total properties, okay? Now, let's go ahead and download, okay? Let's download a phone number report for this neighborhood, okay? Start download. Let's see how many owners actually have phone numbers in this area, okay? So you get to see here that you do have more phone numbers now. And remember that I am also including condos. So many condos do not have landlines, but many single family homes do. So you do have more phone numbers here that you can use for your prospecting. And also I do want to mention that the phone numbers you find inside of iMapp are do not screened. They're not screened against the do not call list. So please make sure that you screen these phone numbers with the National Registry for Do Not Call. You do not want to call someone who is on the do not call list. You would be facing a very hefty fine, all right? So all phone numbers in iMapp are available for you to call. However, you must first make sure they're not on the do not call list, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and click on create, no, not create labels, refine this search. Let's click on refine this search. And we're still in this map area. So we learned how to search by subdivision. We learned how to put in a property address and then extract the subdivision from that property. And then we also learned how to draw on a map. Now we're going to remove this map here, clear all search fields, okay? And then I'm just gonna click on new search. And then let's see how we use the property use code. This is very important. If you are an agent and you're prospecting and you want to know how many multifamily 10 or more unit buildings there are in a particular zip code, you can do that. So we select multifamily 10 or more units. And then for zip code, you're going to select zip code 33134, which is a zip code in Coral Gables, and then click on start search. We have 130 buildings that have 10 or more units in this zip code. Now, if I'm an agent, I'm prospecting, and I want, you know, every single owner that has a multifamily property that are 10 or more units, I want them on my mail out list, or I want them on my prospecting list. You guys can always download the results on the right-hand side with the owner address. Remember, a lot of these owners are corporations. So you're going to see an LLC, you're going to see courts, and many, many different companies. So you're going to want this on a spreadsheet. And in order to find out who you need to contact, you want to go and log into, say, sunbiz.org, and you want to screen these owners with Sunbiz and see exactly who it is you're going to be talking to. All right, that's one way to do it. Let's go back and click on refine search, and say, for instance, I want to know multifamilies that are less than 10 units. Then we go to number 8 here, which is 1 to 10 units multifamily. That includes duplex, that includes fourplex, that includes, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 units, okay? We're going to click on start search, and that's 911 properties. Now, someone the other day told me, Robert, how can I find exactly a fourplex? Okay, we're going to click on refine search, and I will tell you that there pretty much isn't a way to find a fourplex. It's basically categorized as 2 to 9 units or over 10 units. So my idea behind it is that we're going to open up one of the search fields that we're not using, and then we're going to put in bedrooms, okay? And then we're going to open another one, and we're going to put in bathrooms, okay? And then for bedrooms, I would say somewhere, let's say 4 and 4 bathrooms, okay? 4 and 4. So let's see if we find the property multifamilies that are 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Now, these are 4 or more bedrooms and 4 or more bathrooms. If we click on refine search, to set it to equal, you're going to go and select equal to, and then equal to, okay? So now these are exactly 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom multifamilies. There's 119 of them. 4-4, 4-4, 4-4. So now you know these are either 2-bedroom duplexes or they're going to be, 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 4-plexes in zip code 33134. So hopefully that you're able to, follow along and actually learn from this. These are tips and tricks from your Miami trainers on how to use iMapp for prospecting, okay? Let's go ahead and click on New Search. And like we mentioned before, the property use is a very important field inside of iMapp. You can always open this up. And if you're looking for, say, stores, 1 story, you can do that. You can go with vacant commercial, which is land for commercial use. You also have department stores, supermarkets, regional shopping centers. You have office building, 1 story. Let's say you're someone who's prospecting for gas stations. You're going to click on service station, okay? And you're prospecting for gas stations in all of Miami-Dade County. You click on Start Search, and guess what? We have over 700 gas stations in all of Miami-Dade County. That's 739. All right, so you can always download yourself this results, and now you are going to be prospecting owners of gas stations in Miami-Dade County. You can do this for zip codes by subdivision or by city if you'd like. All right, so 739 is a very large list and you want to filter down to a particular area, you can always do this, okay? Let's go back to New Search. I want to mention that you also have another field here called zoning. So if you're looking for property, you're looking for zoning, you can click on zoning, open up here the drop down, and go look for the particular zoning that mostly interests your client or yourself for an agent who's prospecting, okay? There's another very interesting field that you guys may want to use, and that one is called Unoccupied Address. All right, so unoccupied addresses basically means any property that is not occupied by the owner. Here's the difference, folks. Owner occupied means that the property does not have homestead exemption. So when the property does have homestead exemption, then this is owner occupied, yes. When the owner does not have homestead exemption, then that would be, no. Unoccupied address basically means they do not occupy the home. Basically, the mailing address is outside of that particular property. So when the mailing address does not match the property address, then that'll be here, unoccupied address. So that would be the difference, okay? And those of you that want to prospect opportunity zones, you can do this as well inside of iMapp by looking for opportunity zones. If you don't know what opportunity zones are, you can always go to Google and find out. But opportunity zones are usually low income areas where the government gives you an incentive to purchase the property as an investment property and save on property taxes. So very interesting that you guys can use the filter opportunity zone where you can, search low income areas or low income communities and find investment properties that you can sell or buy, and the owner will save on capital gains and property taxes. Okay, that's opportunity zone. So the amount of prospecting you can do with iMapp is enormous. You can stay here for hours. However, we're going to now switch over to Mls Search and teach you about prospecting using the MLS. Next, we're going to click on listing status and we're going to select expired, not relisted. We're going after expired listings, okay? We're going to click on expired, not relisted rather than just clicking on expired. Here's the difference. Expired, not relisted will only show you the results of properties that are still expired. Expired by itself may show you properties that expired but also were relisted. So you want to keep it where it says expired, not relisted. For property type, we're going to select single family home. All right, we're going to select the single family home property type. And then for a city, we're going to go with the city of Coral Gables. Okay, let's go with the city of Coral Gables. And then one more field, folks. We need a field called expired date. And the reason being is if you do not select expired date, it will go back 10 years of expiration history, and that's not really what we want. We want the most recent expired listings. So for the date range, we're basically going to open the calendar and we're going to go back 3 months. Today's March 3rd. We're going to go back to December 3rd. Going back to December 3rd, it says greater than or equal to December 3rd, 2020. We're going to click on Start Search. There are 19 expired listings in the city of Coral Gables going back 3 months, okay? So here are 19 expired listings that as an agent, you guys can prospect and, you know, have a good chance of getting a listing. The reason being why they expired, you know, ranges, whether it was overpriced or the marketing wasn't good enough, or simply the owner had a change of heart and decided not to sell the property anymore. It is up to you to figure out. What I will tell you is that if I were to click on a property like this, you are going to see the listing. You're going to see that it expired. It was listed at $649,000 and it was listed 2 years ago, April 29th, 2019. Okay. We're going to click on Find Comparables on the right-hand side. This is something we'll teach you in the iMapp class. And then you're going to see that the average comp price is $633,000. It was listed for $649,000. I honestly don't see why this property expired off the MLS when it did have a very, you know, decent listing price as compared to the comp analysis. Okay, so let's target the expired listings inside of iMapp. Now we also have one called canceled, not relisted. Here's the difference. Expired listings are properties that had a contract and it reached the expiration date. Canceled, not relisted, those are properties that the owner requested to cancel a listing and it was granted. So if the listing agent went ahead and granted the cancellation, then, you know, it'll show up under canceled, not relisted. So let's go back over here. Let's do single family home. Let's go to the city of Coral Gables. And then let's click on Start Search. Okay, I want you guys to see what happens if you don't put in a date range. All right, it's going to go on forever, right? 364 properties. So now I want to go back to refine this search and I want to put in a canceled date. All right, let's see if I see it. I should see it. Expiration date. I don't see canceled date. Okay, wait, withdrawn date. They have a withdrawn date, but they don't have a canceled date. Am I not seeing it correctly? I'm gonna try expired date, and maybe that works. Maybe not. Let's see. Expired date. That's not gonna work. I thought we had canceled date in here, so we apparently do not have canceled date. So I guess we can go with list date. Okay, we can go with list date, and then we're gonna go back 1 year. So let's go back to January of 2020. All right, let's go back to January 2020, and then list date, and then you're gonna go greater than or equal to January 1st, 2020. Click on Start Search. So canceled, not relisted, and the listing must have been listed from January 1st of last year to today's date. So there are 53 canceled listings from the MLS that are not relisted, that were listed within the last year and, you know, several months. So again, another opportunity for you guys to pick up a listing that the owner decided to cancel, and perhaps they're still motivated and they still want to sell. They were just unhappy with the services of the listing agent. Okay. And here's the beauty behind doing the canceled and expired inside of the iMapp system. And it's very simple. Once you have your results, folks, right? Once you have your results, you have it here on the right-hand side, labels, and download the results of the homeowners. You are not able to do that in Matrix. Matrix does not give you the owner information, and it does not let you, download those results. So it is very important to know that iMapp has that capability, as well as other systems like Remind and RPR. So those of you looking to learn about prospecting, you can also use Remind and then also RPR, okay? All right, let's go ahead and click on New Search, and let's start to wrap up the course by going to Foreclosure Search, okay? All right, so for the Foreclosure Search section of iMapp, we want you to know that these are properties that have a lien filed against them. So the property must show up in the court with a lien against them, and these are foreclosure liens filed usually by the bank or the homeowners association or condo association. iMapp is working on adding more liens to the system. So keep an eye out, in the future for that. But right now we're going after foreclosure liens of banks, lenders, HOAs, and condo association. So here we have Foreclosure Search. We are going to enter zip code 331. Let's go with a different one, 33178. Let's go with 33178, which is a zip code in Doral. Okay. Now, the judgment sale date and the file date is very important. Right now, we're going to leave it blank, and we're going to show you property use, and we're going to select single family homes. Okay. Start search. In all of Doral, there are 57, not all of Doral, but in all of zip code 33178, there are 57 currently active foreclosure liens filed in the clerk of court. You're going to see the case numbers usually begin with the year. Okay. So you have January 3rd, 2019, January 25th, 2019. Here are your case numbers. You want to find out more about a particular property, you click on it. You've got the mailing address here, who is the owner of the property, and then you got the foreclosure details. It says filed January 30th, 2019. Here's the case number, and the plaintiff is Bank of America NA, and then the defendants are going to be here. Folks, your job is to communicate with the owner and see what their intentions are. Are they trying to modify the loan, or are they interested in listing the home? We are prospecting. We are fishing, basically, for business. Now, you're not going to approach the owner right away and let them know that they're in foreclosure, all right? You're going to approach the owner and simply offer your services as a professional realtor who specializes in that neighborhood, okay? So we're going to grab that list of foreclosures, 57, and we're going to see who from this list is interested in selling their home. Now, chances are most of these people are underwater, and that it turns into what's called a short sale. So let's make sure that we know how to work short sales, how to get short sales approved by banks, and what would be the process. We do have classes for you that are geared towards teaching you how to work a short sale. Today is not it. This is just, how do we find opportunities inside of iMapp. Now, I did mention that I did mention that these fields like judgment, sale date, and file date were important. So let's say we want to go after foreclosures filed within the last year. We all know that 2020 was a difficult year, and then also in the clerk of court, we didn't see many foreclosures. However, I do get a feeling that very, very near future, we are going to start seeing a lot of foreclosure filings from people who have not paid their mortgages this year. If I go back to January 1st, all right, January 1st of 2020. So we go back to January 1st, 2020, greater than or equal to, and we click on Start Search. 17 foreclosures basically since January 1st of 2020 through today's date, and that's out of 57. Okay, so that's how many foreclosures we had filed within the last 14 months. If I go back and I refine this search and I say since this year began, so January 1st, 2021, and I click on start search, there has been one total foreclosure, only one, okay? Now, if I go back, right, and I erase zip code 33178 and I say how many foreclosures have been filed since this year began in all of Miami-Dade County. You're gonna see now a list of all foreclosures filed for single family homes in Miami-Dade County since the year began. So here we have 95 foreclosures filed this year. January 5th, 2021, you got January 5th, 2021, and then, you have January 8th, and you have January 8th. So all of these homeowners are facing some kind of, issue with their home, and it is up to you as the agent to reach out to the owners and see how you can assist. Do not call the attorneys. These attorneys are not hired to negotiate with you. They're hired by the bank to file the case in the clerk of court, okay? Now, if you go back to refine search and you want to see foreclosures that are nearing the end of the line, that is a judgment and the judgment sale date. We're gonna put in today's date of March 3rd, 2021, going forward, greater than or equal to. These are properties that are facing an auction in the clerk of court, and you have 78 properties. Look, auction date, March 15th, March 23rd, okay? Oops. March 23rd, March 9th, March 3rd, April 12th. Let's click on one of them, and you'll see that they also have what's called a judgment amount. And for this property, there's a judgment of $128,658. So talk to the owner, right, and see what they're thinking, because this is how much they owe the bank, okay? And then this is the market value in 2020 for the property, 138. Why are they risking losing the property when the property is worth more than the judgment? Talk to the owner, see what they're thinking. Here's the phone number, okay? This happens to be an estate, so maybe the person has passed on and there's someone else, responsible. All right, and we do have here Arthur Bell, Diamond Bell, Ethel Bell, and then all the bells are right there, okay? So let's talk to the owner, see, what they're thinking. Why aren't they listing the property, and are they really, willing to lose the property in foreclosure auction? These 78 properties all have a date on the court, and these are the court dates, all right? And these are the auction dates. So let's use iMapp, folks, to get a hold of owners who may be in trouble and may be willing to sell. This was just a piece of the puzzle, of the prospecting puzzle. We do invite you to attend the prospecting and farming class with Remind, where we will show you how to use Remind Pro to prospect for possible sellers and buyers inside of any particular city in South Florida, as well as using Rebo Gateway, which is another prospecting tool that we have inside of your Miami dashboard, where we use Rebo Gateway for prospecting and farming. So altogether, you have iMapp, which is today's course, Show Me the Money, and then you have prospecting and farming with Remind and Rebo Gateway. All right, guys, I hope you truly enjoyed our class. I know I did. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being Miami members, and please stay safe.